TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by Tears in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
The D-Tronics Inventory Blowout Sale going on now. Get a pair of 300-watt tweeters for just $1, speakers for $12, subs $25, radios with Bluetooth $29. Go to dtronics.com for breathing sound.
We are back here live, and fortunately it's live on the internet because we got coaches on a morning after the Super Bowl that are joining us, and right now head
Find
coach,
that district, Kevin. There you go, baby.
Mission Veterans, David Gilpin. Coach, thanks for joining us here.
Hey, no problem, Joe, man. I appreciate it. Like I told you a while ago, man, love what you're doing for Valley Athletics, man. You guys are great, and you just got you a good one with Kevin, bringing him on board.
Got some good writers here. Hey,
yeah, I know.
Coach, first and foremost, I looked at your district. That was the first thing I turned to because it was like, does he have to go another season picking one non-district game, or does he get to exhale and say, now I can expand my wings? You get two.
Yeah.
So talk about, first of all, who is it? Do you know who it is yet?
We're looking at Mission and San Benito. Outstanding non-district schedule for us. I'm a big believer, Joe, Kevin, y'all know me, in district, and there's certain Valley schools, and I told Dan this, that I would like to play. I don't need to go out of Valley to get the type of game we need. The San Benitos, the Harlingens, the Edinburgh Vellas, those types of schools gave us the game, so we're going to play San Benito in week 2. That game with in week 1 with Mission's a big one for our community and gives us that playoff type environment. So it's a pretty neat non-district schedule for us, and then we're into our district schedule again.
Is it going to be in San Benito, or where's it going to be?
I'm waiting. I told Dan I did not care this year. So I'm waiting for him to make a decision. He's in his district meeting right now. We're done with our district meeting. I've got everything set other than are we going to play San Benito at home or away.
So that makes your life easy.
Everything fell the way we expected to today. Our other schools' districts are a little bit different for our other sports, but for football, it was the 9 teams we expected. We've got some tentative agreements with Mission and San Benito in place. Those held up, so pretty easy morning for us, for myself this morning, that we're about what we expected coming in. We already drew numbers. We've got our home and away and our schedule for non-district. So it's been an easy morning for us.
Well, we talked to other coaches are talking about the ones that are getting a whole new mix of teams.
Yeah.
It's like, does it help you preparing for the spring and the summer, saying, okay, we know what's coming?
Right, it does. And the familiarity that you have when you're playing with the same teams. We've been in there with Sherryland Pioneer. We've been in there with Sherryland. We've been there with Mercedes, with the Head Counts, with Valley View, with Rome. We've been in districts with all these teams before. PSJ Memorial. So there's nothing new for us on what they're doing. Tommy was not the head coach the last time we played Pioneer. So, we got to take a little bit of a look at what they're doing. So we haven't see what he's doing well. But other than that, man, Roger was at Mercedes over there. Christian was not at Ed Couch, so, I from what I understand, I think they're running the nasty slot over there. So, which we've seen. We know what they're doing at PSJ Memorial, PSJ Southwest, and Frank was at Roma. So it's been a good morning, but pretty calm, not a whole lot of hectic for us.
2 years ago, I know it was.
You
got put in that 10, 11.
Before that, Kevin, we were in a 9 team also.
Right.
So we've been the last 4 years either in a 9 or a 10, and it limits our non-district. I really want to challenge ourselves in non-district. I like the big district schedule. I don't care, man. Hey, it's a battle, man. We're going to, we've worked hard to build the numbers in our program, and we feel like we've got the depth to sustain a long district season and get ready for a playoff run. But, I'd still like to have a few more non-district games, but as it is, getting Mission and San Benito set up tentatively, I'm real excited about that.
So what stands out here is you guys added PSJ Memorial and PSJ Southwest. They were in the 5AD1.
Yeah, but so are we. They're with us now.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So the 3 of us dropped down to 5AD2 together.
That's right.
And we have basically joined last year's 5AD2, which is the Mercedes, Ed Couch, the Sherrylands, Valley View, and Roma. It's basically what we've done. They have those schools, and they've dropped those 3, and we've dropped down with them.
Looking at a crystal ball, Coach, as we got that locked in, talk to me about the program as we head into the latter stages of February, start about spring, and what's your expectation?
I could expect right now, we're going to be a young group. We'll only have 3 seniors starting on offense, on defense, probably. It'll be a young group, but our junior class coming in, Joe, they were district champs as freshmen, 9-0. They were district champs as JV 8-1, and plus we had 6 sophomores last year that were already on the varsity, and they were district champs at the varsity level at 8-1. So our incoming junior class has done nothing but win district championships since they've got to high school. So we're excited about the sophomores on the varsity level again. So we're going to be young. It's going to be a new team, but it's been a great offseason. Can't wait to get into spring ball. You know we do spring ball every year, and we're excited about spring ball and finding out who those new players are going to be that are going to be impact players for us.
Sounds good, Coach. Appreciate you joining us.
All right, baby. Y'all have fun.
David Gilpin of Mission Veterans. We'll be back with more after this.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, we're Robert Bella's favorite cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, top.
We are back here at Realignment as the string of coaches continues to join us. And first and foremost, I thank every coach, not just for joining us here, but thanks for allowing us to do what we do to promote your athletics.
You're welcome, Joe. You're welcome, Kevin.
Sir.
Let's talk Sharyland football.
Yeah, Coach. So, what stood out to you right off the bat? I know we just spoke with Coach David Gilpin. Not too much change, but what did you see that stood out to you right off the bat?
The district ended up just as projected. We've got a 9-team district that's pretty darn competitive. You know, we've got the 2 PSJ, Southwest and Memorial, Ed Couch, Mercedes, ourselves, Pioneer, and Valley View. That remained from our previous district. Mission Vets coming down is going to really pack this or make this a very competitive district. So, you know, we're expecting for it to be a dogfight week in and week out, and you know, we're looking forward. We're looking forward to this district and district competition. The 4 teams that make it out of this district, you know, I'd like to think that they're going to be ready for the playoffs. You know, what's a little different is first round opponents. Just looking at the district that we would be facing, there's some top dogs around the San Antonio area. So, you know, our first round is, you know, if God willing we make the playoffs, you know, that's going to be quite the challenge to make it to the second round. But
some folks kind of overlook that because it might be 5A and 4A, and they say, well, the expectation is they should go 3 deep. But when all reality is, this first round matchup against a potential Kerrville, Tybee, Medina Valley, Bernie champion, that's just as equal to a third round game in Class 6A. But you guys get it right out of the gate.
Exactly. You know, of course, we're not going to look that far ahead. We're looking at just being successful within our district. But, yes, I mean, back when we were in the 5A, the old 5A, we would go Laredo Valley, then San Antonio. That was a path that we took to the third round. You know, now it's going to be San Antonio. It's going to be Central Texas, and it's going to be quite the challenge just to get that far into the third round of the playoffs. But, you know, that's going to be our goal, our program's goal, and we're going to worry about whoever our opponent is for that week that we're playing, and then just take it from there. But you know, it's going to be challenging.
So what do you do non-district wise? Do you ramp it up and try to go further out to try to get in that mix right away, or what's your non-district look like yet?
Well, we had already made arrangements with 2 Brownsville schools. Brownsville Pace is week 1. We've been playing them. This will be our 3rd year that we'll play them, and prior to that, we met in the first round of the playoffs. And Coach Pardo's got a good thing going there. So we know they're going to prepare us for district, and then we're staying in Brownsville. I don't know if we're home or away, but we're going to play Hannah week 2. So we are not doing spring ball this year. So we did pick up a first scrimmage. That'll be Brownsville Vets. Then we're going to scrimmage Harlingen, which we've been scrimmaging for the last 10 years. And then the 2 non-districts with Pace and Hannah in that order. And then we open up district with Oh gosh, I can't really remember. It might be Southwest, if I'm not mistaken.
Southwest. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
so the district adding mission veterans is no strangers. You know what they're all about.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago, you were talking about them getting ready to try to challenge for the district title. So they come back in the mix. Pioneers solid with a quarterback at least coming back right out of the gate. So your district, I know it's loaded, the first round of the playoffs, but your district also is top-notch competition to get you ready.
Exactly. I mean, we're looking at the old 4A powerhouses back, when there was only up to 5A. But Mercedes and Edcouch, those are football towns. Those kids, those programs are you better be ready for those guys. Pioneer, of course, Pioneer. Anytime you've got a quarterback the caliber of Eddie Lee Marburger, he gives that program a chance to win. And then, of course, Mission Vets has the numbers. They've got a great coaching staff, and we're expecting a dogfight. Valley View's tasted success in the playoffs. Roma's been right on the brink, and PSJ Southwest and PSJ Memorial, they've got two great coaches that have those two programs moving in the right direction. So there is no off week in our district. So, and if you don't keep your guard up, that's when you get knocked out.
And that's really not a bad thing, though. When you
not.
know what's waiting once you get to the playoffs.
So,
Ron Adami of Sherryland, thanks again for joining us. And by the way, when they talk about programs, the Edcouch, the Mercedes, add Sherryland because of your program.
That.
Thanks, Coach.
That.
We'll be back
Coach.
with more after this.
Organized and priced for you, forever memories. 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito. Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
Hi, we're Sherryland Rattlers, and thank you.
We are back here on Rio Sports Live. We're at the Aquatic Center in Harlingen, Texas. Kevin Naro, you got another guest here as we continue to talk about who went where, who's playing who, and what about those non-district games?
Yeah, my guy Oscar Salinas right here. I always say we're Edinburgh boys in a Lower Valley world.
Yes, thank you.
Coach, so we're gonna jump off, talk about your district, and obviously not too much changes, or
no change at all. Which we're at the end of the day, that's what we thought would happen, and so it's a good thing for us. The only thing is that it's been a little bit difficult finding games here in the valley because the other valley districts are so huge now.
Right.
So we're going to have to find some games, especially week 5 and 6, and we might have to travel. We're already traveling a bit now, so that's the only bad. That's the only bad thing about this schedule. This district is that we're having to find some games, and so the valley's gotten so big. There's not a lot of opportunity to play games down here.
So right now on the big board, there's games open. You got a couple of weeks. You do not know your opponent yet.
Week 5 and 6 is where we're at right now. We're hoping to get Beeville week 5, and then that will just find a week 6. La Jolla was able to pick us up for week 2, and we're still waiting on the Progreso but Hannah said they'll play us week 3. So it looks good there, and then week 6 game. I hate to have those 2 open weeks.
Right.
We did it a couple years back, and we didn't play as well. I think the last 2 years we played really well, playing high competitive teams early on, getting us tough, and so I really like that, especially when we get into the playoffs.
Bronze Vera still on your non-district schedule?
No, they're off our schedule.
Okay.
They obviously couldn't fit us in.
Right.
Lost Mercedes, which was a good rivalry game. We lost Santa Rosa as well. So those 3 came off. And who else? Redondo came off. That's a great game. I was wishing we could stay with them. We lost Port Isabel. That's also a great game that we play. So we lost some good games there. And,
Raymondville?
Raymondville, we're going to keep week 1. So that battle
North.
was still there, and I'm glad we kept that game.
Right.
That's a really good game. Right off the.
So this for the fans listening and watching, this is the flip side of it, because we've had conversation with coaches where it's not as difficult finding.
Right. We're on the flip side now.
Right.
I was hoping maybe they would add a couple more teams, so that we don't have to find so many non-district games.
Right.
It's the travel. It's really the travel. We'll play anybody, any place. I think that's where we've gotten our attitudes that way now. But just having to travel is really tough. Not finding somebody is even tougher. Because if you get those 2 weeks off, it can be tough. It can be tough to motivate kids when they don't have anything to play for.
Did you get a glance at the region and anything else that stood out to you outside of your district?
No, I haven't had a chance looking for games, but I mean, it's kind of the way we felt it was going to be. Obviously, District 15 is really tough. You know, our first, but we've had a first round opponent that's real tough. You know, people don't understand how tough it is for us in terms.
It's like a round 3 game at any other class.
Exactly, and then we're going off. I mean, Cal Allen obviously will be the favorite coming out to probably win the region and then go on to state. You know, I hear they have a really good team coming back next year. You look at Miller. Miller has a lot of kids back. It's a tough region. I mean, it's a tough region. You know, so we're really got our work cut out for us, and you know that's why it's good for us to play all those games. You know, we lose a lot of kids on defense.
Well, yeah, we talk about what's coming up. I mean, here we are in February, and it's not beyond it to start saying, okay, what's the schedule look like for you guys when we get into March, April, May, into the spring, into the summer? And, I mean, it's not that far around the corner.
No,
you're busy.
Yeah, we're going to be super busy now. It's like you said, it all ties in together. By the time you know it, we're sitting in August. And we don't have any time off anymore. We go in June, our summer workouts and 7-on-7. So some games at the bottom end. So we don't have to sit and have an open week. You know?
Sounds good. And your district meeting, have you guys already had
no,
that?
We're about to have it. I wanted to come here real quick and just spend some time with y'all.
Back with more after
37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Back here as we continue our visits along the way. Kevin, 32-6.
Fresno's joining us. Coach, thanks for coming on board with us.
No problem.
Love
to be here.
Right off the bat, what stood out was that it's no longer a 6-team district. Is that a relief? And it was for me.
Oh, absolutely. And trying to schedule that many games is an absolute nightmare, especially when the nightmare ends up being Odessa Permian 2 years in a row. And that's either you take that game or you don't have a game. So, you know, Wessica, what a challenge, and bringing Donna North in. I mean, I think our district is definitely gotten stronger, and I'm looking forward to it.
Is this what you guys expected?
We definitely expected this. I think some of the other San Antonio districts and stuff were a little different than what we thought, but for our district, that's definitely what we thought was going to happen.
So what does that do as far as your non-district? Have you got that locked in?
Well, you know, the whole thing is you have everything locked in until you get here, and everything just starts flying and people start. But, you know, it looks like now we're going to play Ed Couch game 1, which we all know was a very tough game. We have Gregory Portland game 2, home and there. And then we decided, you know, we really don't mind playing tough teams. So we're going to play Cal Allen week 3. And then here comes district schedule. So it's a little bit harder getting teams to play when you're a flexbone team. I think